Hey everybody, welcome to Sexy Food Therapy TV. I am Melissa Ramos and I am super excited because with me today I have Sammie Kennedy. Thank you so much, Sammie Kennedy. Now it's really exciting because Sammie Kennedy is actually the CEO, mastermind, fitness guru of Booty Camp Fitness, Femme Fatale. She's just a wealth of information from a fitness and health perspective that I actually had the pleasure of being on stage with you several years back. So this has been a long time.
Yeah, it was a while ago.
Absolutely.
We've both done so much in the meantime, so I'm really excited that we're partnering up on this one too.
Yeah, and so it's crazy. So for those of you out there, I've been dropping some hint bombs at the fact that Sammie Kennedy is going to be joining me along with another expert of mine with the Enlighten movement, which is all about transforming your body and helping to transform the world at the same time. So today I'm going to be actually speaking with Sammie Kennedy about her views of fitness, giving you a little bit of something of what's going to be coming up in the Enlighten movement. So yeah, Sammie, for those of you out there who actually don't know who you are, could you just sort of give us a lowdown of what you have to, what you're all about?
Sure. So almost 6 years ago, I started this company called Booty Camp Fitness, which is Canada's largest women's-only fitness boot camp. And it started with one little location downtown Toronto that I was running and exploded over the years to 100 locations at our peak.
Wow.
And we still have over 70 locations across Canada right now. So we do women's only boot camps that are an hour long, and we've added on a second program as well called Booty Fit Express that is high intensity interval training workouts. So those are only 30 minutes long, and all of our programs run for 4 or 8 weeks for our recruits with tons of bonuses and lots of really fun things. So it's been a great journey in developing a lot of things around women's fitness and health and new concepts and you know, now the Femme Fatale as well. So
That's awesome. I know you're constantly busy. So tell me a little bit about your own personal story and how you actually sort of came to do all this insane, amazing work.
Well, it started when I was around 22 years old. And I had never stepped in the gym. I had never done a workout, picked up a weight, none of that stuff. And I was kind of unhappy with the way I looked. I definitely wasn't extremely overweight, but I was what I like to call skinny fat. So the person that doesn't look like they need to work out, but definitely has no muscle, no real health, cardiovascular endurance, all of that stuff. So at the time, my boyfriend bought me a book called Body for Life, which is a 3-month program, and showed me how to use the equipment at the gym.
Got it.
And I went to the gym and I completed the 3 months and totally transformed not only my body, but I found a big transformation in confidence and self-esteem and just the way that people perceived me as well. And that was the big kicker for me. So people started asking me what I did. And I started sort of coaching people on the side and decided maybe this was something that I really wanted to delve into and launched myself into the fitness field, and one thing led to another, and here I am today.
Which is awesome because I know that you've definitely helped quite a few people, and I know a lot of people on the Sexy Food Therapy Network, when I mentioned your name, people were like, oh yeah, no, I know exactly who that is. So you're definitely out there and doing some really great work. So in terms of people who, want to get fit, what is sort of the, does everyone need the same sort of exercise? How often do they need to exercise weekly?
Yeah, I definitely recommend that if somebody is looking to achieve fitness results or even just achieve a healthy body, you definitely want to be working out 3 to 4 days a week.
Okay.
Once a week doesn't cut it. If you're overdoing it at 7 days a week and never taking any rest days, that's also not a good thing. So there's definitely the two extremes. And I think that the key ingredients for almost everybody is definitely a combination of both resistance training and cardiovascular training. So you want to train your muscles, you want to get that strengthening of the bones, strengthening of the body, increase of metabolism through that, as well as doing cardiovascular training for your heart, your lungs, and that additional calorie burn and fat loss.
And how often should these workouts generally be? Because I know some people would be like, oh, I got to work out an hour or 2 hours. I've actually met people who work out 2 hours a day and really kill themselves, which is what you're talking about. Don't go crazy with 7 days a week, right?
Well, I mean, workouts can really vary, and it often depends on what your personal goals are, as well as what your personal preference is, right? Like if you love going to that 90-minute yoga class and that's what gets you active, then by all means do it. If you're one of those people that has no time and is just like, I can't fit in exercise, well then maybe you want to explore a 20 to 30-minute high-intensity interval training option that will get you similar results just in a shorter period of time with a different style of exercising. Right, so it also depends on the fitness level of an individual. Somebody who's a beginner may not want to launch into doing some extreme high-intensity interval training workouts right off the bat, unless they are within a program that is going to give them modification so that they can work their way up to the level of those people who have been doing this style of training for a longer period of time.
Got it. And so what are some of the biggest mistakes that people make?
Definitely overtraining is one of them. I see that a lot, the people that do, like you said, the 2 hours of extreme working out a day.
I think like even around the new year too, right?
Yeah. And I think that that's something that people have to watch for. And people have to also watch that they don't bite off more than they can chew. Because with things like overtraining and trying to do too much at once, what often happens is people get discouraged very quickly. Gotcha. And they're like, man, you know, like I really wanted to do this 7 days a week and work out really, really hard, but my body can't handle it, so I'm a failure. And that's not the case. You just have to be patient with yourself and actually give yourself the time to adjust and get into the flow of doing your workouts so that you don't end up with that whole, well, it's not working, so it's been a week, I feel terrible, I'm not doing anything anymore. And it's a fine balance of keeping it balanced and working at your own fitness level as well.
Gotcha. And is there such a thing as like doing the wrong types of exercises? I know that there's wrong forms, but is there an idea of like, you know, these are the wrong exercises for specific people? Is that actually correct?
This is my personal opinion, and I definitely don't have a scientific study to back it up. In my opinion, if you're moving, that's good.
Okay.
So I think the wrong type of exercise is something that's going to injure you, something that your body is not conditioned for. But aside from that, if you're getting your heart rate up and you're actually training your muscles, then you're doing a good thing for your body.
Okay. And I mean, going with that thought, are there certain exercises that can actually make you gain weight?
Here's the thing I don't like about exercise and people's philosophy about weight.
Okay.
The scale, in my opinion, is evil. Cut it out.
I don't even have one. Even in my clinic, like people go, how do you focus on weight loss and you don't have a scale in your clinic? And I say, well, do your clothes fit better?
Exactly. Do your clothes fit better? Are you getting compliments? Are people noticing a change in your body? Are you noticing a change in your body? Because oftentimes when somebody starts something new, especially if the workout regime incorporates any form of resistance training, you will see either minimal weight loss on the scale or possible weight gain on the scale as you're building that lean mass, which is burning more calories for you in the long run, making you look better, making your clothes fit better in the long run, but the scale does not reflect that, and people get too hung up on that number.
Yeah, and I think that like a lot of the times that when people end up gaining weight, which I've seen people, it's actually happened to me as well when I lost about 25 pounds from years ago. I found that I actually gained weight first, and a lot of it, what I understand, is water as well.
Yeah. Yeah, there's definitely water. There's also, if you are building muscle under your fat tissue, you may gain weight and gain size before you reach that tipping point where your metabolism catches up and you start to shed that body fat that's over top of that beautiful sculpted toned muscle underneath, right? So it's definitely a matter of persistence. It's a matter of not getting too hung up on scale numbers and realizing that it's not going to happen overnight. I mean, if it took you a year to gain that weight, even if it took you a month to gain that weight, it's going to take you time to get rid of it as well.
So do certain people actually require like different kinds of workouts? Like I know you were talking about conditioning a second ago, but in terms like, I know, for example, you know those apps, the Nike app, for example? So I'm like out there and I'm doing my run, and I actually run more from the basis of like it's more psychological for me. It actually helps to kind of like clear my head. It's like a moving meditation, I suppose. But when I do it, you know, I ran, I remember 5K, and I looked down and I'm like, I've only burned 350 calories. Like I was kind of shocked about that. And then I realized that certain exercises that I was doing that required like say more body circuits and so forth, and I guess body or biometrics, like using sort of my own body weight, actually was burning more calories than running these long things. So that actually works better for me. So with everyone else, is everyone different in terms of that structure?
Again, I'd say it really would depend on your personal goals. Like if you don't have a lot of weight to lose and you enjoy running and your goals are not to achieve that extreme body transformation, then by all means run. If you're looking for weight loss, then you might want to explore something more like the high intensity interval training that does use a lot of body weight resistance, does engage a lot of muscle groups at once, and then in turn burns more calories during the same workout period time.
That's awesome. And so I know that one thing that a lot of women come to talk to me about is belly fat. Mm-hmm. And that muffin top, that tire, and they're like, oh, it's all sitting here. You know, and I know from, you know, a natural medicine sort of perspective, like in terms of, you know, what various fat deposition means. But when it comes to a workout perspective, I know a lot of people hate crunches. I actually don't mind them so much. My biggest bag is usually leg workouts, which I'm just like, oh, I hate lunges to save my soul. But,
so do I.
Oh, good. I thought that you loved every single workout you did. I was like, she's got the perfect body. So, I mean, are there other sort of workouts that you can do that are not crunches? Like, save us, Sammie, from, like, crunches.
Definitely. Well, first of all, there's a ton more exercises for focusing on your core that don't involve doing a crunch. But I think even more importantly, what people have to realize is that those abs aren't going to show up as long as you have the body weight on top of it, the body fat. So engaging in those, you know, those exercises that do train a lot of muscles at once, burn a lot of calories, is going to be what really helps to show your abs. So an exercise like, and it's everybody's favorite, okay. I think it's just my favorite, burpee is a wonderful exercise to train the core, right? Because you're jumping and you're landing and that engages all your muscles at once. And then you're going down into a plank position. And then you're bringing the knees back into your chest, which again crunches through the core. But because you're using your shoulders, your back, your arms, your core, your legs, your glutes, everything, you're burning more calories, which is going to help to shed the body fat around the waistline. So I think that people really have to focus on a complete program rather than a particular spot on their body. And also realize that a portion of especially abdominal fat does often come with diet. There's tends to be a lot of, and I hate the word diet. I prefer the word nutritional program, but there tends to be a lot of fat deposit around the core and a lot of bloating based on eating foods that don't agree with your body and your intestinal tract.
Absolutely, and I think that that's so true because I remember when I was an ad exec, I was, you know, like you get food, you know, take in for like client meetings or brainstorm meetings and so forth, and you know, they're usually generally sandwiches. And I'm eating them and eating them, and then I'm like, I don't understand why I can never get rid of this. And I was working out actually more rigorously than I actually do now, and I still couldn't shed the weight. But a lot of it was from an allergy that I had that, you know, well, an intolerance to gluten that was undiagnosed for years.
Yeah, I had the same issue. I was struggling and struggling and struggling to lose the last 15 pounds. And finally, I just tried it out, like, let's cut out gluten. And those 15 pounds came off almost instantly. Exactly.
Which is so crazy. So, I mean, you know, I know that this is, you know, part of your lifestyle. This is a part of your work. And you definitely, I like to say, counsel a lot of women with this because it's not just about like, hey, go do a burpee and hey, go run like crazy around a circle. Like, I know that you really take a lot of heart and interest in what you do and really help women. But how do you, like, offer or even tell women out there to stay motivated? Because especially with New Year's just really around the corner, I know, and I see it in practice, a lot of women go full speed, and then by the time February hits, they're like, forget it. They lose that motivation. So how do you stay motivated?
Yeah, I think there's a few things that you can do to stay motivated. And the number one thing that I tell people to do is create a list of reasons why you're doing it. If you know why you're working out and you have enough reasons why to work out, then you can always refer back to that list. Whether it's, you know, I want to be able to keep up with my kids, or I really want to look great in that bikini for a trip on such and such date. Totally. Or, you know, I really want to fit back in that pair of skinny jeans in my closet. or even just, I want to live an extra 5 years. You know what I mean?
Good reason.
As many reasons as you can put together. 25, I say, is the minimum. You can go as high as 100. If you can refer back to that list, then that's really good. And then also remember that this is your time. Your workout time is your time to dedicate to you. Schedule it in, make it important, right? Because so many things can steamroll our workout time, whether it's a meeting at work or having to take the kids to soccer or just, you know, being tired at the end of the day. Remember that you're going to feel great at the end of your workout.
Yeah.
And that's what's really important. And if you don't have a lot of time, find a solution that's going to take less time. Find that high intensity interval training workout that's 20 minutes long or 12 minutes long even, right? Just fit it in.
And I think that's really important, because when you were saying about, you know, the idea of, like, sometimes you feel tired and you're like, oh, I'm so exhausted. I actually I try to force myself to think when I'm really tired and I don't want to do my workout. I'm like, you know what? If I do this, I'm actually going to gain energy.
Yeah.
And more often than not, it happens.
Yeah.
So help me understand, like, say for people out there, are there 2 exercises that you could name that people could do at home that's really going to make you sweat? And I know burpees certainly is one of them.
Yes.
But, like, any other exercises that you could recommend to people?
Yeah, well, definitely when you're doing exercises, A, try to think of as many muscle groups as possible, but B, try to think of the bigger muscle groups in your body. So things like your legs have the largest muscles in your body. So they're going to burn more calories. So something like you know, there's a million variations of a squat, but if you want to take it up a notch with the calorie burn, do something like a jump squat. It's as easy as that, right? Stick your arms straight up in the air, and there you've engaged your shoulders as well, right? That's a really great one. Something like a jumping jack can be taken up a notch by crouching down into a ball and then jumping up off the ground into a start position. Things like that are really going to engage a lot. Jumping jacks I did with my recruits one day. I must have done a bazillion jumping jacks with them, because at the end of every circuit we did 25 jumping jacks. The next day, oh my goodness, my shoulders have felt it. My obliques felt it. Like, you don't even realize how many muscles some of these exercises really do work. Yeah. And anything with a bounce in it is great, because it's going to increase your heart rate, it's going to increase your calorie burn, and it's also going to help that lymphatic system get going and flushing things through your body. So I always say try and keep things a little bit bouncy during your workout.
For sure, and I think that's really, really important. And I'm incredibly excited to be able to have you in the Enlightened Movement program that's going to be coming up for purchase on December 11th. And, you know, we're going to be pressing the go button, I always say to people, because I want us to start really collectively doing this together for January 9th. The one thing I'm really, really excited about is the fact that we're actually going to be doing a whole series of, like, a workout with you. So we're going to be filming that with you, and that's going to be offered to people who actually purchase the Enlightened Movement, or I should say join the Enlightened Movement. They're going to have, like, an actual video to see you hand my ass to me. Like, essentially, you're going to kill me in this video.
I'm so looking forward to it.
But I think it's great, because I'm so excited about it, because I'm going to be, you know, sweating with you, and we're going to be showing people out there what they can do that can really make a change in their body. I know that you have a really great approach to fitness, which is why I immediately went to you about this, because I think that you offer a wealth of information. And I think that there's also a really great opportunity for people out there when they sign up to the Enlightened Movement, you know, up for purchase on December 11th, because we're also going to be doing an awesome telejam with you.
Yes.
So, and that's super exciting because, yeah, because people who have any questions about working out, and I know there are a ton of people out there who've got so many questions. I know I do. And that's going to be a great opportunity for them to really ask you and pick your brain, which I'm pretty sure you're going to get quite a few questions. So that's super exciting.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm really, really looking forward to all of it. I'm looking forward to working out with you and really providing people with something that's going to be suitable for everyone. And I always give modifications in my workouts so that any of your viewers at home can do the workout as well.
For sure. And I mean, I'm totally joking with you guys there saying she's going to kill me because, you know, I'm joking.
Well, I might kill Melissa. But I'll give you guys modifications at home.
Yeah, and I think there's just going to be so much great stuff from like, here's high intensity, here's, you know, medium, or here's lower, like especially if there's injuries and stuff, there's ways to work around it. I know even after like my surgery, for example, I had to do several modifications with exercises. But, you know, coming from that to where I'm at now, I'm in better shape than I was prior to my surgery, which is, got to say something.
Absolutely.
So, thank you so much, Sammie. I know you're a crazy busy woman, but I really, really appreciate this Skype interview that's going to be made available to all. And I look forward to, you know, when we're press go on this thing and have you in the whole Enlighten movement.
Yeah, thank you, Melissa.
All right, Sammie, thank you so much.
Take care.
Take care. Bye.